Hey, nice to see you're stopping by. My head is often quite loud, filled with thoughts, and over time I've come across some ways to calm it down, become present, and be at peace. And one of the ways that are actually quite enjoyable and easy to do is to just watch something that gets your mind off of what you were actually just worrying about, what was making you anxious. And today I'd like to, well, go on a little journey with you in the hopes of putting a smile on your face and maybe making you feel a little better about your day or in general as well. Before we get started, I'd be happy to welcome you as a subscriber to the channel. I like what I do, and maybe so do you. Okay, let's get started. Imagine you've been hiking for hours and hours. Sometimes you've turned left, sometimes you've turned right, but almost always did you go up, further and further. Your backpack was heavy from the start, but even though you have eaten and drunk during breaks, the bag just kept feeling more and more heavy the further up you walked. Hours for hours. You started when the sun rose. You saw it at its peak, and it's gradually coming closer to the mountaintops again. But so are you. You don't really know where exactly to set up camp, but you figured you'd know eventually. You'd just know. Somewhere up there, where the land and the sky become one and intertwine in a way that you think, oh dear, please don't blow my tent away when I sleep. So you move on, further up, trying to get to the top before the sun gets there on its way back down. You can do it, and actually you know that. Partly driven by the belief in yourself and the excitement about the view, partly by really not wanting to hike there in the dark, you keep pushing, and you make it. Here it is, a beautiful spot that seems just right. You quickly see a nicely flat surface, and with the last rays of sun shining on you, you build up the tent. Let's just assume it worked first try and not even think about having to rebuild that thing like 3 times in an attempt to not have it result in some dysfunctional bivac. Well, anyway, all the stuff is inside the tent. Everything is nicely prepared, and it's time to cook. You have a little cooker with you. You set it up, and while you're trying to somehow make it a decent meal, let me tell you about what that reminds me of. Back in the days, we used to steal soup packs from our mothers. It's basically dried powder that evolves into soup when you add hot water. And we'd not even add 1/3 of the water you'd need for it because it didn't fit into our small steel cup that we put into the campfire. It was super salty, thick, and a bit burnt, but actually kind of delicious. So now, you've eaten your whatever, and it was quite good, and you finally feel like you're actually arriving at this spot. You become present. You feel the breeze, you watch the trees far below where you are. You can see so far and become aware of the vastness of it all, and everything that makes you anxious seems just so far away. Yes, it hasn't gone, but you've managed to get a healthy distance to it. Curiously, you start to find out that it's not about the physical distance you have to things so far up in the mountains. They may still worry you, even if you're an astronaut in space. If you think about something, it somehow is still there. It is much rather the vastness, the shift in perspective that lets you see the world and problems from a different angle. If anxious thoughts can follow you into space, then why on earth and beyond should the same rules not apply for beautiful feelings and nice thoughts? Now you lie there on the floor, looking at the stars and gazing into the sheer endless abyss that you see and kind of not see when you're looking between the stars. Your mind turns quiet. Your eyes are still looking up, but at nothing specific anymore. You look at the void and feel like it looks right back. Like you're not even that separate from it all. And oh, is it all vast, mysterious, and beautiful? You feel at peace. Finally at rest. And you wonder, did that feeling really come from the outside? Or was it there all along? This peace, this presence, this acceptance of what is. For once not fighting reality, swimming against the waves, running against the wind. At peace at last. Maybe these beautiful surroundings up there show you in their obvious magnificence how nice life is and how fulfilled you can feel. But maybe, just maybe, if you open your eyes wide enough, do you see the beauty in it all?